Hello everyone, myself Michael Ravina, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering. The subject is CS3492 Database Management Systems. The unit is Implementation Techniques and the topic is query processing. Query processing is the activity performed in extracting data from the database. In query processing, it takes various steps for fetching the data from the database. The steps involved in the query processing are parsing and translation, optimization and evaluation. This is the diagrammatical representation, that is the steps involved in the query processing. The query processing involves in this. First, the query is given. After that, the parser and translator translate the query into the machine understandable code, that is a relational algebra expression. After that, the particular code is optimized, that is a approximate given. That means some extra statistic about data is also given. After that, the particular query is translated language is given to the execution plan. Then the execution plan execute the particular query by evaluation engine. In the evaluation engine, it must matches or check with the data and produces the query output. Parsing and translation. First one is a parsing, that means scanning. Parsing means scanning. The scanning and parsing and validating the module produces an internal representation of the query. The query optimization module devises an execution plan, which is the execution strategy to retrieve the result of the query from the database files. A query typically has many possible execution strategies differing in performance. The code generator generates the code to execute the plan. The runtime database processor runs the generated code to produce the query result. As query processing includes a certain activities for data retrieval. It includes the different steps. Initially, the given user queries get translated into high-level database languages such as SQL. It gets translated into the expression and then can further used at the physical level of file system. After this, the actual evaluation of queries and variety of query optimizing transformation can take place. Thus, before processing a query, a computer system needs to translate the query into the human readable and understandable language. Evaluation. For this, with addition to the relational algebra translation, it is required to annotate the translated relational algebra expression with the instruction used for specifying the evaluating the each operation. Thus, after translating the user query, the system executes the query evaluation plan. In order to fully evaluate the query evaluation plan, in order to fully evaluate a query, the system needs to construct a query evaluation plan. The query evaluation plan defines a sequence of primitive operations used for evaluating a query. The query evaluation plan is also referred to as a query execution plan. A query execution engine is responsible for generating the output of the given query. It takes the query execution plan, executes it, and finally makes the output for the user query. Optimization. The cost of the query optimization can vary for different types of queries. Although the system is responsible for constructing the evaluation plan, the user does not need to write their query efficiently. Usually, a database system generates an efficient query evaluation plan which minimizes its cost. This type of task performed by the database system is known as query optimization. For optimizing a query, the query optimizer should have an estimated cost analysis of each operation. It is because the overall operation cost depends on the memory allocations to several operations, execution cost, and so on. Finally, after selecting the evaluation plan, the system evaluates the query and produces the out for the query.